It's time for your mix of movers and shakers, of doers and makers. It's time for Funko FunChat.
Today's guests. This actor's credits include The Suicide Squad, The Dark Knight, and Do. Let's talk to David Dastmalchian. You know him as the Joker from Batwheels, and Iron Man from Marvel's What If. Meet Mick Wingert. She's the voice of Ahsoka Tano, and Cheetah from DC Superhero Girls. It's Ashley Eckstein. And now, let's mix it up with Funko FunChat.
I'm Ashley Eckstein. I am from Orlando, Florida, and I'm most known as the voice of Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars.
I sense something, Master, and I don't like it.
I'm Mick Wingert, and I'm a voice actor from Southern California, and you would know me these days as the Joker on Batwheels.
Careful, Bat Bros!
Iron Man in the What If universe, the extended MCU.
And I am Iron Man.
The voice of Heimerdinger on Arcane.
You reminded me of myself, a scientist.
14 years or so I've been Kung Fu Panda when Jack Black is not available.
Being the Dragon Warrior means that I can read minds.
My name is David Dastmalchian. I am from the great state of Kansas. You may know me from television or film appearances in lots of comic book properties, ranging from The Dark Knight to The Suicide Squad, and I write my own comic book called Count Crowley, Amateur Midnight Monster Hunter.
Originally, they wanted Ahsoka to have an Icelandic accent, but Dave Filoni was watching me in between takes. And, I did at the time really practice my Icelandic, and I thought I did a good job. And then he raised his hand, he was like, no, can you, give us something more Icelandic? And so I raised my hand and I said, I'm sorry, but I am doing Icelandic. I don't know what you want. Well, normally I would never talk back to the director, but that actually got me the part. Because Ahsoka is snippy, and I guess I managed to be snippy but not bratty.
I'm not going to take the fall for something I didn't do.
In fact, even in the early days, they would record our faces for the animators. And so some of my expressions are even on Ahsoka. So my husband will watch it, he'll be like, I've seen that face before.
There's a barbecue restaurant called Jack Stack Barbecue that is my happy place. Eating Jack Stack, we get it sent out to LA where we live now whenever I have a craving. And also Clint's Comics. Clint's is the oldest brick and mortar comic shop, I believe, in the United States. Whenever I'm home, I like to go. It's my original comic shop from when I was a kid.
The breakout role for me was really was Poe. For the first Kung Fu Panda film, they released a game.
Once I unleash my total awesomeness, even I cannot be held responsible for what happened.
And a friend of mine who was in the industry already was at an audition for the voice match, and he said, Jack Black's not really in my wheelhouse, but you know who you should call is Mick Wingert's agent. I spent the weekend studying Jack Black because I honestly didn't have an impression, and booked the gig, thankfully, with the world's worst Jack Black at the time. I mean, I was basing it all on something he doesn't have, but that I just noticed in like some indie film he was doing. He just he jutted out his chin like this, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's the underbite. Maybe that's what makes the impression come to life.
People always pee in the pool.
I don't think Dick and Maisie pee in their pool.
I'll bet you $500 there's pee in that pool.
Started doing that, and that kind of led me to where the Jack Black is. But if you played the game, you'd hear the world's worst Jack Black with all that underbite. And now I would just do it like this. I mean, I would just slip on in to the impression. And no underbite, no fancy parlor tricks, you know what I'm saying?
I want to say the first comic that I bought at Clint's was a Detective Comics, but I don't remember what number it was. I got that, a JLA, a Firestorm, and it was either a Curse of or Tomb of Dracula. And I have them all still.
I had a character that I played on That's So Raven on the Disney Channel. I played Muffy, and she wasn't very nice there either, but she talked like this. She's like, Alana says that she likes San Diego Comic-Con.
When Alana laughs, the whole world laughs with her.
Okay. And so I decided to bring that to Cheetah. So Cheetah sounded more like, I'm gonna take a cat nap in the sunshine.
Fear not, citizens! Cheetah's here!
Oh. I don't know. I used to be able to do an elephant really well, a trumpeting elephant, but now I'm getting older and it's a little hit and miss. I can definitely bark like a little dog. And that was better.
I would go to Australia. I was just there making a movie, and we got back a few days ago, and I didn't want to leave. I love Australia so much. I was surrounded by thousands of flying foxes, the giant bats. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. My wife, my kids, and I, we went out into the Yarra Bend. We hiked down to the river. There was thousands of these giant, beautiful bats. You know, I'm a vampire, so getting to see my people in the wild, and it was just incredible.
David Lyerly, who's the casting director for Riot, specifically for Arcane, did a fantastic job of pulling together actors who, and I'm very lucky to be part of this, but I was in awe of many of the other actors that he pulled in who not only could do voice work and do fun,
Silly things like, you know, we could all do these voices, but can you do this voice with heart, with someone who's seen a bit of life and has a perspective?
And that became the difference, I think, is that the team at Riot were really concentrating on getting, let's get some perspective here and some humanity. And I'm very, very glad that they went with me.
It's a project I've been working on with Disney and Lucasfilm for about 5 years now, and we were finally able to make it happen. There was a delay there because of COVID, you know, the world shut down. But it's a video series called Star Wars Mindful Matters, and they're just shorts. They're 2 to 3 minute videos, and I teach a Star Wars lesson. So they're moments in Star Wars that are actually in the story. That, you know, lessons from Yoda, lessons from Luke Skywalker, lessons from Ahsoka Tano, and then pair those lessons with a clinically based mindfulness exercise. You think you're training to be a Jedi, but you're also learning a breathing exercise. They're already in all of Walt Disney World resorts. So if you stay at a Walt Disney World resort, you can go to Disney On Demand and the videos are there. We're getting them into hospitals, specifically children's hospitals and schools. So it's a huge passion project of mine. But I'm more motivated by fandom, so I'm more apt to do it if I think I'm training to be a Jedi than if somebody just tells me to do a breathing exercise.
Count Crowley is a comic book published by Dark Horse. The story of Jerry Bartman, a woman who wants to be a serious news broadcaster, but because her alcoholism is so out of hand, her brother can only keep her hired as a late-night horror host. But when she does it, she finds out that the guy she replaced secretly was one of the last appointed monster hunters on Earth. And so she is to not only confront the reality that monsters are real, but she also has to overcome her self-destructive tendencies if she's going to be of any use helping her family and the people she cares about.
Well, you see, Mr. J, I don't think it's going to work out this way.
What do you mean? I have a great time here, and we have so much fun together. In fact, let's go to the movies now.
No, I don't think you're catching my meaning. I think what I'm trying to say, dear lad, is that we're just of different generations.
Oh, age is just a number. Speaking of numbers, pick a card.
Oh, boy.
Now that's a fun chat, but there's more. We have full interviews of each of these guests on our YouTube channel.